I had a kid in the youth group ask me one time if Kanye West was going to offer me $1 million to have sex with him if I would do it. And I'm like, dude, you lost me with the person. I mean, maybe if you would have said Robert Downey Jr., it would have caused me to pause. But Kanye, he's not even a person that I would even take a second glance at. Reason being is because he's not like-minded. I would first be initially attracted to somebody, but there's not really going to be somebody that entices me or appeals to me if I know that they're not going to actually get on my level and think about the deep things of God that I am pursuing. And so that's kind of like where I try to bring it down to a kindergarten level with a lot of people who ask the questions about what makes a relationship work. I can tell you what makes relationships fail because I've been great at that. But through all of it, and now on the other side, I really have gained a lot of wisdom that I'd like to pass along, especially because being 40 plus, I take great pride in the responsibility of having somebody else succeed quicker and faster than I ever have. And that was kind of the idea with dating somebody who was younger and hoping that I could bring him up to speed. And of course, we would, in tandem, seek the things of God because I knew I was kind of a slow acclimator. So I maybe in some ways were on a maturity level of someone young, only in certain aspects because I have a lot of really deep ways of thinking that are very spiritual and prophetic that most people don't understand that I can't really talk about anyway. So when we get back to the gist, I also remember this really cool chick who was coming to preach at a church when I was the only white chick going to an all-black church for about 2 years. And she was a white lady as well. When she came, she basically put it out there that some good-looking cowboy came up and was like, well, hey there, little lady, how about I take you out to the saloon later on and we have a few drinks and we do some dancing, da, 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 da. And her assistant was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. We've got to pray. We've got to make sure that this guy just leaves you alone. And she looked at her assistant and I love it. She was just like, that dude, what's he have that I want? He's not enticing. He's not a thrill seeker. He's not, alluring to me. I could tell by his demeanor, what he said, how he looked at me, how he was carrying himself, how he basically was mistreating me with his assumption that I'd go right along with his idea. She's like, it's not even someone I would consider. And I've never forgotten that. Now, I didn't always do that for myself, but now I am. Now, finally seeing that there are too many things to sow into myself, to like about myself over, that I would not waste them on somebody that could not appreciate them. Bottom line, as a single female that's enjoying my healing journey, my walk with the Lord, seeing how spiritually connected I can be to Him, I would only now settle for somebody that wants to raise the dead. I've seen too many miracles to drop it back now, to lower that standard where it's like, well, he says he's a Christian. Well, he says that he cherishes me and honors me and wants to love me and put God first, but yet he's really, really pressing me hard for too much sexual activity behind closed doors. I find that confusing and it makes me not like him. And then I struggle with judgment. I'd rather just not be associated with someone like that. And believe me, it is easier and easier with every person that suggests that they need to calm me down, or I have too many dreams that I need to pick one and so into that because I'm all scattered. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thanks. Because I know I'm going to accomplish all those things because God put those desires in my heart. And I want to encourage male and female alike. If you've got aspirations and you're sowing into yourself and you're taking the much needed time to establish your identity and know that you're worth a lot more than other people's opinions or what they believe they can do for you, or what they believe they can take from you, because you maybe are bringing a lot to the table. I know for myself, there's plenty of people that want to just usurp my anointing all over the place. They're like, I could really use you to head of my ministry. I could really use you on my arm because you'd be great eye candy as a wife, and then I can head up my ministry. No, not going to work. Sorry. And I'm just laughing about it because at this stage in the game, oh my goodness, life is short. Life is short. The person that you spend the rest of eternity with as a life mate better be a match, better be somebody that believes like you, better be somebody that can encourage you, edify you, think like you on a lot more levels than they oppose you. Because those little things that were kind of opposite that attracted you in the first place, boy, they can become disappointing little places of agitation real quick when the rubber meets the road and you've got crisis to pray through. And they don't want to pray. They want to play a video game. Or they want to go meet up with the boys at the bar. Or they want to give you all the responsibility to handle the kids and, run the business and all the stuff. It's not really the life that you're intended to live. We are all intended to live a life where deep connection is foundational. It's two sets of eyeballs staring into each other and accepting that they may have difference of opinion, but the backbone, the crux, their beliefs is the glue that's gonna keep them together through hardship. And then from there, you can have all the sex you want behind closed doors. That marriage covenant comes in and seals the deal, and you're good to go. And I would encourage you, explore the areas that you haven't yet when it comes to relationships. What are you settling for? What isn't working? And guess what? You're going to be fine on your own if you decide to be single for a bit and get to know yourself, sow into yourself. Trust me, it's the time of your life. It's wonderful. So take that. We'll talk more about this because there are so many facades and fantasies about relationships, but really you have to love yourself first.